produce Section 8 as a play and then shoot said play as a film. When I decided that this project was actually doable, I had to place my first phone call to the man I call Mr. Hollywood, Carl GILLIARD.
Welcome to the making of Section 8. From the page to the stage to your living room. I'm Carl GILLIARD, the director and co-producer and coffee maker for Section 8. This was an idea from the mind of Tony Winters. In the lead role, the through line of Section 8, the heart of Section 8, is Tony Winters, who's playing Joe.
AKEEM Smith was actually a young man that I had worked with doing some showcases around town for a mutual friend who had written a book of plays. AKEEM and I had worked in separate pieces, but I had a great deal of admiration for his work, and I thought, this kid's got something. He's got something very special.
Andre goes through a lot of emotional changes in the movie, you know, and it's like for each scene you have to go into each situation because it's all from different places. So for, you know, maybe that last scene, I'm looking at my father and he's talking to me, and, you know, and you're looking at him and you're feeling so bad for him, you know. So you feel his pain, and that's where all that comes from, you know. And you know, it's so easy to work with these guys because everyone fits these roles so perfectly.
We found Veronica Thompson at Town Street Theater. She was perfect. I mean, when I saw Veronica do her thing in Town Street, I said to myself, that's Taco. I mean, Taco. Brought her to Tony. Tony said, it's her.
Do you know I left my makeup in the car? And the car is
happen to you one day, young man?
But see, that's what happens backstage behind the scenes. But that's all right, because I'm a professional.
You know, my
TRISHA MANN was someone we came upon who actually, when we were workshopping the play and did a reading at this very same theater, Stage 52, a few years back, she played Taco in the stage reading. So she was a logical choice, an excellent actress with a lot of range, and she brought this thing home for us as Simone.
When am I going to get the rest of my money?
fellas, I got it all worked out.
You're too old for this shit, Joe. You're about to turn 45 and you ain't got a pot to piss in.
Feathers in a lot of ways is me. I've been not fighting the war of getting older, but enjoying the relaxation from youth to middle age to something more.
Darius Dudley was playing Riley P. Feathers, who was the owner of P. Feathers Arms, which is where this whole adventure takes place.
Kimberly S. Newberry also returns from retiring Tatiana. Kimberly is the voice of Vivian.
You can take no credit for the fine young man that he has become.
CALI was played by Heather SHER.
So, but this place tells me that you've known some pain and struggle.
We had looked high and low, and we had actually seen a couple of actresses that actually come in to read with us during the rehearsal period, but nobody ever worked out.
Girlfriend is cool.
Our sound effects person, David B. Marling, said, Tony, I think I have the person you're looking for. I needed someone who was attractive, had a way with comedy, and still young enough to play college. And I called up Heather, got her voicemail. I heard her outgoing message, and I heard that voice of hers, and I knew.
Working on this has been amazing. CALI is so fun, and just the cast and crew have been a dream team, really, a dream team.
Pat LaRocca, who plays Michael D'Elia.
I'm doing some work with Mr. P. Feathers.
The inspector who comes and inspects the grounds, and I don't want to give it away. Don't want to give it away, but you'll see when you see the film who Michael D'Elia is. So that's our wonderful cast. These people, I mean, were amazing in that they came to play, they came very open to share their art, their emotional life with us. And not only all that, but they got along and we became a close-knit family. In fact, the only drama we had in this film and this play was why. And I could handle why. And these folk handled themselves so famously, and I was so proud and blessed to be able to work with this cast. In La Jolla.
You mean at your house?
The rehearsal. Rehearsals took place over at the St. Matthew's Church in North Hollywood. Everything happens in North Hollywood for Detroit Winners. Everything happens in North Hollywood. If it's not North Hollywood, it's not Detroit Winners. But the church we used for rehearsal space was actually used as a location for retiring Tatiana.
I want to meet her now.
Hi, Cece.
Drew, how are you?
Fine. Cynthia Hogan, this is my friend
Tatiana Michaels. Pleased to meet you. Likewise.
So we had access and we had relationships there. We went there and did the rehearsals. And it was an enjoyable experience. We basically mocked the set by using chairs and tables and rehearsed there up until the week we went into production at the theater. And this cast was marvelous, came to play, came fearlessly ready to bring these characters to life.
Her name might be on the list, but I'm still the king up in this cast.
Oh, no, you ain't.
What happened in that church during that time was magical. Magical.
The set was almost as important as any other piece of this puzzle because the set was a character in and of itself. It had to be so authentic that it allowed one to suspend disbelief.
Tom Melleck took a bunch of throwaway material that I got from my friend's warehouse and turned it with his construction crew into pure gold. I know I'm not saying this correctly, but I don't care because the most important thing about this is the magic that this guy created.
We had to design it so that we could see the inside of the house and also the exterior of the house, a little courtyard where a lot of scenes are played. Then there's another house which we see the exterior of, in which people go in and out of, so there's movement and there's playing there. For my inspiration, I guess I went to some of the poorer neighborhoods of Los Angeles, which are, I think, very similar to the poorer neighborhoods in San Diego, which is where this play takes place. We are trying to do our best. It's difficult under time and budgetary constraints, but it's fun because there's a lot of good people working on the show. A lot of people want to see it succeed, and it should. Good show, good play.
It was an interesting experience working on the play. I came in after most of the blocking had been done and they had been in rehearsal for a couple of weeks. But it was really nice working with the cast.
Orange babies, you know he ain't made for no sister.
So let's explore this. I have no man in your life to speak of.
I enjoyed the piece. I think it's a good piece. It's a funny piece.
Opening night was truly one of the most magical nights of my life. You had two guys who had never produced a play before actually pulling this thing off, and judging from the audience response, we knew we had a winner. And that night, we partied.
Absolutely loved playing Simone because she's so different from me. You know, I get to be outside of my skin. Simone is troubled. She's a troubled woman with issues. She got daddy issues big time, and she's angry. You know, she likes Andre, but then when she sees the little white girl, she has problems with that, okay? So then all the other stuff comes out, that thing you called me earlier mean. Other than that, Simone was a lot of fun, and if I had to do it all over again, I would do it all over again. I love this.
What the hell are you doing?
Oh, I thought I'd come and watch the game with you.
Well, but if you don't get your ass up.
He ain't good for nothing, but he's still my Joe.
This was absolutely the most wonderful group of people to work with, both cast, director, playwright. To have a playwright who is the main character can often prove difficult.
What the hell that's supposed to mean?
But this time it was completely smooth sailing. From the words that Tony wrote down, it dictated to me the type of sensibility that this woman had. Our director, Carl Gilliard, who allowed me to explore and not dictate what he wanted, I was able to evolve into a beautiful character. And I love every character that I do, and she's right up there.
Okay, and set.
Action.
It sure is easy to pay these bills since we got the Section 8, ain't it, baby?
Yeah.
With the money we're saving, maybe we can drive up to San Francisco to see your sister and her son. What's his name, baby?
Charles. My sister adopted a boy named Charles.
We called in the talented and resourceful Aaron Kirsch, who was our cinematographer on Retiring Tatiana. And he came in and he really was the cog in the wheel that I didn't personally have as an experienced filmmaker, and was very helpful in the setting up the shots and working out the lighting issues that we had because we didn't have a lot of time. Cameras breaking down and lighting issues. We had a heater or a cooling unit that kept coming on. It would buzz every 10 or 15 minutes, and that was a pain in the neck. But somehow, by the grace of God, and I know it had to be that, we were able to even cover those things. You don't hear those humming, buzzing noises of a heater or a cooling system coming back on and on. We even had buses and airplanes flying overhead. So a lot of sound challenges that were going on.
Well, we had to correct some voiceover work, some ADR work. Some of the Foley was fun to do. First challenges.
Some part I feel the level is excessively loud. I just duck it.
Make up your damn mind. Am I gay or am I into white girls? I'd like to know.
Is this what you've been spending your work study money on?
My name is Bill Duke, and I just had the privilege of seeing Section 8, and all I can say is that it's a very, very powerful piece, not only in terms of the acting, the directing, the writing, and all the production elements, but what it has to say. And anyone who wants to involve themselves in a piece that is brilliantly done, but also is very impacting on an emotional level, you definitely got to see Section 8, whether you see the film or the play. It's a journey, and it's a journey into your own heart, and it's something you're going to love.
I think you need to see the film and to really experience what we experience and really get into the story of this man who had thought he had lost everything. He had lost his self-esteem, had lost direction in his life, and he comes together with his son in this little triplex in San Diego and finds himself again and finds new purpose in his life, and he's able to move forward with that. It's a nice story.
Dinner here?
Together. If I don't start blubbering first. Heather SHER. Meet Aaron Kirsch. Tony Bennett gets no better than that. Or maybe when somebody walks outside, hey, Miss Stokes, hey, baby. Something like that.